All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Reflections with Val. And of course, we have another guest coming on to reflect with me. And this one is someone that I've known and it's personal. Okay. No, I mean, stop. I'm going to have him introduce himself and tell them your Instagram and everywhere they can find you and all that.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm Elias. How are you guys? Hey, my Instagram under construction right now for EliM27. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm excited to be here from Patterson originally. So,
okay, let them know.
But I'm living out in California, making it happen. So
okay, and then what do you do for those who want to know, like you're creative?
Okay, awesome. So I've been in the arts all my life, as you already know.
Okay. We went to the high school, performing arts high school. Was it up?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of vocals, dance, and just creative, anything that's creative, honestly, and then a little bit of acting, but that's just in the works. I'm more focused on dance,
right,
and vocals and stuff, something that I really am passionate about.
All right. So, I mean, I normally come on and I like to reflect and start from where this all started. So when was the first time or the age that you were encountered by your craft or your ability, like dance?
Okay, awesome. Well, when I was young, dance wasn't a part of my life. It was just, I was a singer, singing at church and everything else. So that's where it all started. And long story short, one day I was at school. I was getting ready to go, to 5th grade or something. My 4th grade teacher was, she caught me humming something. And I think it was the Star Spangled Banner or something. And then she was like, can you sing Happy Birthday for me? And I'm like, okay, great. So I sang Happy Birthday. I was like, it's simple. I was like, great. And she recommended me to go to this school called Academy of Performing Arts. And I auditioned for that school. And I was just super excited for that. And that opportunity came. And I auditioned for that school. And bam, I ended up just getting accepted and being branched out to everything that I know today, which is art, which is vocals, and choir,
right,
acting, and then dance came big part of my life as well. So,
you learned all that in the academy?
Yes, in the academy. It was just a great experience. Yeah.
And you went in there in the 5th grade? I didn't know.
Yeah, since 5th, 6th, 7th up,
I remember that because me and Elias known each other since we were kids. So when he was in church, I was a churchgoer too. So I started going to church and we were like a part of the youth and stuff.
I know. Yes, we were. It's crazy.
So like I remember coming in, whatever. I didn't know anything about my singing ability at the time. And I remember looking at him. I remember looking at him and my mom telling me that you went to an art school. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like that's so cool. I didn't understand it, but yes. I was young and I was like, yeah, I wish I could do that. Yes. Because I was in that stage where I was like just starting, singing, and you know how weird it is when you do that. It's exactly. Just like you're not comfortable hearing yourself, so you just like keep it to yourself.
I know, it's just so crazy to see you from like yay high, and then like growing up with her is just crazy. It's been an experience. It's just been like, what?
I was the annoying one.
Yes, she was very annoying
in the beginning stages of life. I was the goody two shoes.
Friends. Right now,
no idea. Yeah, we couldn't stand. Well, he couldn't stand me, and I didn't understand that I was the girl. I'd be like, why?
She was like policing everyone at the time. Are you going to Bible study?
Are you going to Bible study? Because I am.
Because I am. I need to be there. So, man, good memories though.
I mean, yes. But even then, like, I didn't even know you were singing. I just thought you were a dancer.
No, I first started singing and I was just like, that was my first passion and everything else. And then, I decided that I had other talents and why not just branch out of those,
Were you always confident in it since you like picked it up, since you like knew of this ability that you just thrust yourself in all of it?
Well, I was young, so like confidence, maybe like I wasn't maybe thinking about it that way. I would say yes, because I'm always open to new things and trying to try new things. And
right.
I just went for it. I'm like, I want to see what works, what resonates with me and, my creativity. So why not do all four or whatever was available, like we had to take regular, classes, but also at the end of that, we had to take our arts classes as well, and then I just tackled everything.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you weren't nervous for the audition?
Of course, I was nervous. I'm like, you don't know what to expect. It's an audition. You're there. People are looking at you, and they're ready, and you have to be ready. I was like, happy birthday, like, you know, like didn't even know what it was to like warm up and all that stuff, you know.
Dang. Okay, so then let's talk about how music came into the whole thing. You mentioned singing. How, you were in the 5th grade, but I want to know the age that music like touched you, like impacted you. You were like, I actually like this, and I want to, you know what I mean? Like, I remember mine, but
I honestly, I'm a little bit embarrassed to like just share this because, what age was I? Okay, so I think I was, if I don't think about it consciously, like 6, 7-ish around there.
That makes sense.
It was two albums that hit my soul, which was an artist called Cristian Castro. Cristian Castro blew my mind with his vocals, and also, as everybody knows me, I'm a big Mariah fan.
Yes, he is. Oh my God, of course. I had to see that coming.
Yeah. Come on, Mariah fan. And her vocals to me, when the Butterfly album came out, I was just like, who is this woman that's just vocalizing so well and just passionately? And I'm just like, oh, like between these two artists. And then, of course, other artists influenced me, like, you know, Stevie Wonder, Brian McKnight. I usually call him Brian McChicken. Why? I don't know.
That seems like a you move.
Yeah, Brian McChicken. But yes, those two main artists, when I first heard it, I was just like, oh, I just want to just live and marinate myself.
Do you remember a song specifically that just gives you those positive vibes and flashes you back?
It's always gonna be one of the Mariah Carey.
Yeah, one of you can name them.
Songs. I mean, I can sing it a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like, if you want to. Which one is it though?
She goes, it's no song. It's not a popular one, but it's just like I won't see you smiling, and I won't hear you laugh anymore. You know, something like that. You know, if you guys know, then you know. If you don't, then I can't help you out. But
what's the title of that?
The title of that song. You want to look it up?
I don't know it. If I could look it up, it's fine.
Anymore. I'll never forget you. I think, yeah. I'll never forget you.
Ooh, okay.
And I think at that time I was going through a little, a little puppy love. You play the song, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But, it's fine.
Yeah, mine for that was like Maxwell Woman's Worth.
Oh my gosh, I love
Come on now. You know you gotta play that.
Yep.
You gotta play that.
Like, come on.
There was always iconic breakup songs, man. I was talking about it with Zayn, man, and they just be having you in your feels.
Oh, yes.
But right now, like, breakup songs incorporate, like, I'ma get back, I'ma put that pussy. You know, it's always like.
But it's true though.
That's like, what breakup songs are. Like.
It is. I'm about to another.
Like, y'all need to calm down a little bit.
It is a lot. Yeah, I do miss music back in the day. It was just at least subtle,
Right,
like bumping and grinding and stuff like that.
So Brian McKnight and all these influences, but like, was your father and your mother listening to this? Like, because I know your father and mother. Okay.
He was more with the Al Green and the old soul, like
he does not struck me to be that kind of person.
No, and then what's that that band Earth, Wind and Fire as well. So he was always in the house just humming that, and of course the mixture with church songs as well, because I grew up in the church as well.
Yeah, so, gospel.
So he's always over here like, and that's where I got it from. I got it from Dad too. So.
And then your mom.
My mom. She's a hairstylist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she was my hairstylist, by the way. She is the bomb.com. Okay.
The bomb.com. Bomb.com.
Mom was the bomb.com with the hair. Okay.
Hooking it up for the fam, right?
Yes. My mom used to take me to his mother to do my hair. Yes. And then eventually, years later, I ended up meeting Elias. And then we just all connected some way, somehow. I was 7 years old, coming straight out of Puerto Rico when she touched my hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, and you don't look nothing Puerto Rico. She was like the white, from the family. So, but, hey.
So it's exactly. So I don't know. So it was just crazy to me that eventually your mom is cool though. Like she always did well. Whenever I asked her to do anything, she did it on point, on a dime.
You gotta get your money.
So then growing up with them too, like how many siblings do you have, for those who don't know?
Sorry. Siblings. So it's just 4. 4, I used to be the middle child and I am not. So that's been taken care of with my sister. But yes, so we have 2 sisters, 1 bro, and that's about it. And then the steps, do they count?
2 sisters, 1 bro, and then the step.
And then the steps, it's just like
step brother and
step brother, step sisters. But
so that's like in total
did I say 4? Probably more. I can't count.
So that's 6. Dang.
So, yes. But we were always doing our own thing. It wasn't like a close thing all the time. But, family's family. They all have their own.
Right. I was just actually going to talk about that in upbringings. Like, is there anything in your time, growing up in that upbringing that you were in your house with your parents? Is there any trauma or anything that you've gone through that you remember and that you use your craft, your dance, your music to kind of help aid that? Okay. In a sense.
Yes. Honestly, a big part and chunk of my life, I use dance as an escape for myself, which really kept me going when I felt like family wasn't there for me. And I had to go somewhere else, and I did not want to turn to any type of drugs, any type of alcohol, or any of it.
Yes.
And I had to be very conscious of that because I was like the easy route to do, and to hold myself back and be like, you know what, you're better than this. And I'm not talking to anyone that has an issue with being an alcoholic or whatever the case is, but I turned to dance to be creative, to save myself, to have some peace for myself.
Yes, that is so true.
No one else was going to give it to me. But when I got into that studio, I locked the doors, dimmed the lights, put the song on, whether I was standing in the room just crying and or moving or expressing, creating, that was just my place, my little bubble. No one's going to mess with it. And that's kind of been my saving grace throughout the years.
But what battle had gotten you to that point?
Well,
an experience.
One experience. Well, at the age of 8, I decided, I made the decision to live with my dad versus my mom. And
you made that
yes,
decision.
I made the decision. I was
8?
given, 8 years old, I was given the decision to be with moms or dad. It wasn't like a court thing, where it was chosen for me. And I'm glad that now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, damn, I was 8. Like I had to make the big boy choices by then. And I'm kind of like, grateful that I wasn't torn in between, but I got to have a say in what I wanted to do. But the reason why I made the decision to go with my dad, and I'm not saying anything bad about moms, we only have one mom, you have to love and appreciate them. But I felt with my dad that I was going to be progressing more. And with my mother, I felt a little neglected emotionally. And I tried so many times, it really hurt when you weren't there at the graduation. You go and look at behind the curtain, and that empty seat was there all the time. And I couldn't deal with all of that at a young age. And
yeah, I can only imagine because no, it's okay.
So even thinking that way, I was like, if I stay with mom, then I might not make it somehow. I might end up somewhere darker. So
wow, you knew that.
For some reason, I'm explaining it that way now, but in my head I was just like, I don't know how I figured that out, but Dad, I knew, was a lot more disciplined. And as a little kid, you want to do whatever you want and not listen to your parents or nothing like that. But I was like, that is the best choice for me. So let's see how this goes. And that took me to a different route and a different place for a fresh start.
Would you have to say that being with your father, that was the time, if you had not moved in with your father, you would not have gotten the Academy of Arts opportunity, or that didn't even...
I would have felt no support to continue, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
My father was nurturing and doing the best he could to just be there for me. And I applaud my dad because there's so many fathers out there that's just leave their kids and not support at all. And I'm glad that he was there to just be a man and take care of the responsibilities. And I'm not saying my mother didn't do what she have to do, but at a point in time, she just wasn't there, maybe mentally, or to deal with.
Yeah, because she was a single mother too. Right?
Yeah, and nothing bad towards her. It's just we sometimes need to just move on ourselves and let your parents as an individual also try to figure out themselves as well, because just because you're of age doesn't mean that you've matured
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's inevitable for us to grow old, but it's optional to grow up. So
yes, there are people out there that are 45 and act like they are 23 out there. We saw it at Six Flags. Oh no, it wasn't even Six Flags. Again, we were supposed to go to Six Flags. Yeah, damn it. We went to Donny Park. It was still a good time. But yeah, we were there in the line and this girl was like, "Oh, hey, Bubba." Girl, I already knew, and I was just hyping her because I already came from that turf. You know what I'm saying? No, I could keep up a little bit. But she was just like, "Look at him, he's a mujeriego on it." Her son.
Oh wow,
remember that?
It was loud and ratchet.
It was, yo, for real. And then she's like, "Y'all think we could take bags in there?"
I don't want to get wet, so Ma, can you put it in a bag? All right. Like, come on.
And then she was like, "Is there somewhere to put our stuff?" It was so funny. She said, "I'm not trying to get robbed out here.
I'm gonna put it right here." Like, I'm like, okay.
Me and Eliza's faces that day were like,
listen.
Oh my god.
When are we getting on this ride right now? Because she's like,
doing the
I'm like, what is going on? My ear, bruh.
I felt that. You were so over it. You're like, this line needs to just go.
Right? It was hot as hell, first of all.
That was so funny.
Man, good time. You guys had to be there, though.
Yeah, you guys definitely had to. We had a big-ass funnel cake.
Oh, my God. It was the best. Like, I think that was the first thing we did. We just walk in there, funnel cake. Oh, yes.
Destination funnel cake.
I don't think if I had breakfast. It was just hella sugar in one shot. Michelle's like, I gotta eat. What you gonna eat? Funnel cakes. They're so good. Like, that's one of my weaknesses.
Go ahead. Yes. But yes, I don't know. But besides that, Tony Park,
good times.
I can agree that everyone deals with that immaturity and what we call in psychology our inner child places, where our childlike place likes to react and likes to victimize and likes to, pity themselves. And we like to go back to our past, whether every parent and every parent has done a different mistake depending on the child. No one has a manual. So again, we respect the parents, but every parent, slip through the cracks somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they do. And it's up to us. I don't know why, but it's always in the 25s to like the 30s where we I don't know, adulting. We just do it ourselves and we're like, oh my God. And then we look back and it wasn't normal. And
I know, we realize. I mean, it's good to see because we mature and I'm like, oh, I get when my parents said this, that, and the third. Sometimes they can be wrong, but like, hello, we're humans. They're allowed to make mistakes. And sometimes they make the mistakes on us, intentionally. And I'm like.
But then it's a little harder for people like us who were brought up in minority areas where we weren't given that opportunity till we were in our 20s. We were kind of given that opportunity in our teens because we already started reflecting back and looking back. Like my friends that I've met throughout high school, let's say from grammar school to high school, I see that my high school friends are more fortunate I see that my high school friends have better parents. I see that my high school friends have more nurture, more support. I wish I had that support. I wish I had that kind of love. And then when we start doing that, you know, that's when we kind of already accepted like our parents for who they were, in a sense, because we were like forced to accept it in a sense, because I also had dealt with neglection growing up, and I turned that into my adulthood this way, where it's kind of like I will only literally want to focus on the person that does not like me, but everyone in the room that likes me, I won't focus on. But it's that one person that doesn't like me that I'm just like, but why? And I always wanted to, you know, give them new things, and I always wanted, let me get another hat out of the trick, and let me just try to make you like me. And I think that came from like always me being alone, like being alone and dealing with myself and being neglected, and it forces me to come to that place. And it comes from abandonment issues. It came from a lot of those places, but I had to sit down and really reflect and think on those times, because if not, then I would have been that immaturity thing that you're talking about, where it's kind of like
yeah, no, I understand. It's just like it's easy to like always put things on us. And I also had like, in a sense, that issue where it's just like, well, why is this person, you know, uncomfortable around me, or why do they don't like me, or whatever the case is. But I'm like, I grown to realize is that, you know, like you're not put in this earth to be pleasing everybody at all. And then, you know, this is what I tell my friends, or whatever the case is, because you're gonna like get yourself so distracted that you don't have time for yourself, and you're just gonna give yourself away to all these people that sometimes they don't even have the best intentions for you, and they can be a distraction, and you just need to just take it back.
In spirituality, and they call it vampire energies, or vampire.
Oh yeah, I call them leeches.
Well, yeah, yes, leeches. Oh my God, I will never forget the time that there was this one girl that we called Dick Leech, and like it was the best nickname I've ever heard in my life.
Did you say Dick Leech?
I said it, Dick Leech, because it was a whole nother level of clinginess. It really was. So we were like, yo, this is so serious. We're gonna have to call it Dick Leech.
I've never heard of that one. That was a good one.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, you're gonna spread yourself thin, and you're gonna forget about
people,
yourself.
Right. Just as that relationship, there's some people that look good on the outside and that present their image well, right? And say, oh, I have this label, I have an LLC. But on the low, it's like, yes, you're a piece of shit. You're a person who's trying to take other people's positive, upfilling energy because you want to benefit in that, and you're in it for the wrong reason, and like that's messed up. Like you need to redirect your life.
Yes, I mean you need to like look and just really look at people's intentions. You know, like I always give people the benefit of the doubt, but when I see like a little, oh, that don't look right, like nah, I can't fuck with you. Like, nah, we chilling. And I don't really care if you like me or not. Like I said, I'm not here to please you and everybody. You know, I am what I am, and you're gonna have to love and accept me.
But did that take a lot of time to practice?
It did. To this day, I'm almost like still practicing, because of course you would want everyone to like you, and sometimes when you even try your best and you did everything that you could, and I've experienced that, just being like a good friend, just reaching out, calling, cleaning someone's house after they left, they lend you your couch, whatever the case is, to then find out they're still talking about you behind your back, or whatever the case is, and you think, well, I did my best to, you know, accommodate or please you, or whatever the case, and you still weren't satisfied, and I couldn't take that shortcoming and put it on me anymore. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I just couldn't put it on me because
why?
No, it's just like you need to shine your light one way or another, and when that light is shining or it's just beaming out, and somebody's probably not gonna know how to handle that, and you just need to stay steadfast and strong in that, because there's a lot of people that just want to go and feel uncomfortable because they don't have that for themselves.
Wow.
That they don't want it to be shown around and make them probably look bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It can be a lot of things, but you just can't put that on yourself, because you're your own individual. You have to keep on moving forward, and all this knick-knack opinions about, this is what I say about opinions. You know, they're like armpits. We all have them and they stink. You know what I'm saying? We all have them, and they stay.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
A little
Like,
cha-ching.
I'm like, what? No, you gotta be on your stuff on your own, even if you have to go at it alone for a period of time. Like, stay focused, because honestly, like, I'm definitely proud of you where you're at.
Thank you.
I know you've been through some stuff, and you're probably still going through some stuff that you guys might not know. I still might not know, but we're still here. We're at Reflections with Val, and I'm definitely proud of you for this platform. No, seriously, I'm like, I love my sis. I'm so proud of her. Like,
I love you too.
Like, this is inspiring me to get on my own stuff. You got what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna give you credit for where it's due. Thank you. Like, again, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, he's gonna make me cry. I love him. Yes, we've known each other for like 15 years, guys, or like about basically.
Maybe just like forever.
I met him at like, I don't know, 9, 10.
Right, and I just started liking her.
You didn't like me then. He just started liking me
when I tell you
in high school.
Annoying. But like I said, everybody has to grow and find themselves, and but now it's just like we get together and it's just giggles.
Yeah, all the time.
Like, dumb stuff.
Let me tell you, we used to do parodies of songs and stuff back in the day.
Oh yeah, so change the lyrics to the songs.
We definitely have that.
We should definitely bring it out one day. But we would probably sit here just laugh.
Literally the whole time you'll sing a lyric and then I'll laugh, and then sing a lyric and then I'll laugh. Like, I can't. We had a good time. Actually, we're gonna bring that back for sure. You're gonna see us definitely on camera. I think I did a post with you not too long ago, so
that was fun. I was like, I was gonna wear my bandana. I was like, now I can't wear it because I'm gonna see it again.
Oh, dude, that's so true. He was like, damn it, no bandana today.
I was like, I wanted to come here with my hair braided and stuff. I was like, you know what, it's chill. Like, I felt the vibe. I was just like, let me pick out a shirt that's nice or whatever. But I put on this. It says perfection is a progressive attainment, and like, we're always progressing, and I'm always looking out for a positive message and everything else. And I was like, it's so funny, I was looking at Michelle's nails. I'm like, we're kind of matching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
What?
Oh my God, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. This is a lot of hard work, but
just imagine.
Also, to do something like this and to put yourself out there, it doesn't take much, but you actually finally taking yourself seriously and not being afraid to take those chances for yourself. It's a lot of self-reflecting time, and this is why, I started Reflections with Val, because I want other people to know that they're not the only ones going through it, because we tend to only show our best selves on Instagram and Twitter and all of these platforms that when we want to actually be raw and real, it's a problem. So I'm like, nah, I'm accepting all of you guys.
Yes.
All of them. And that's why I brought Elias on, because I knew he was going to be able to give you guys that knowledge and give you guys his steps. And, let's go to high school, man, because we've been in our performing arts high school. We had to audition to get in, of course.
Again.
Again for you.
Again.
Once for me.
Okay. Nah, my life is an audition. But
yeah, that's crazy, bro. So in high school, like, all that stuff and learning everything, what do you think was the best part of it, and like what you learned from it when it came down to it? Like,
oh my gosh,
what did you say that it taught you going to a performing arts high school with your gift? Did it open up other avenues for you, or did you kind of just...
No, honestly, high school, man. High school's always an experience. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of hormones.
Yeah, you were bougie.
I don't know. You know what? In high school, I didn't even like the version of myself at high school, but I got to give myself space because I was just growing and getting to know who I was. But I was really mad going into high school because I had to pick an elective, and I couldn't do multiple things like I was doing back in grade school. So I had the option to like do drama, dance, vocals, and I want to do those things again and play instrument as well. And I couldn't. But anyways, that's how I got heavy on dance. Right. I wanted to play the instrument. I wanted to be in vocal class, and I wanted to, what I'm saying?
All the hats. All of them are
welcome.
All of them.
Why not? But I had to choose dance. So I was just like, great, I'll do dance. Love performing.
But why dance?
Dance because it was, at the time, honestly, I shut myself out vocally. So I wanted another way to express myself. And what other way to express yourself? Through dance, just through your body, emotion. Now you're not speaking. So how can I translate,
yeah.
Me coming from singing to dance. And that was another challenge for me. And I wanted to take it. I want to see where it went. So I put singing on the back burner and focused on dance. And everything creative about it. So immersing myself, choreography,
right.
stuff like that.
So you would practice. I mean, what was your first dance piece like? In general, I know that was in Arts Academy.
Well, I can't really remember my first art piece, but it's just the first time being on stage, and I'm about to just, curtain there and then audience here. Like, once you pass that curtain, it's just like, oh man, like, bam. So it was a great experience because, like I said before, it's just, I was already kind of prepared because I always put myself in that bubble before everything happens, So right then and there was just time, I guess, to shine, to put everything into practice on stage. And after that first experience, it's just being on stage, expressing myself. And
right. But that first experience, you didn't have stage fright?
Of course I had stage fright. It's just different, but like all that fear or that fright has to be dealt with immediately, and not in a bad way. It's just kind of like you throw yourself and just like bam.
You're like using that to exert and
just go and see what happens. You can't be fearful and then just be like, oh,
and you hold yourself back.
You're not gonna know yourself at all. And I'm like I told you before. I told you before. I believe that we don't have the spirit of fear. We're not born with those things. And we just need to tackle them every time we feel something. That's my cue, at least for me, to be like, okay, if I have a fear of something, that's what I need to work on, and that's where I need to push myself.
Wow. Yeah. So you go towards fear instead of going away from it.
Yeah. What's the point of going away from something and keeping yourself in the same spot all the time?
Yeah, that's Joshua right there. He was the courageous one in the Bible. And that's David, too.
Amen. But you don't get to know. You're not going to get to the next level of yourself if you just keep on just watching from a distance. Like, that's not. Like even when we were on the roller coaster, I still get frightened. Yeah. When we go up, I can go up all I want, but the going down part, I'm like, oh, why do I do this to myself?
Oh no, I don't like the going up part because when we go up, I know we're gonna go down. So I'm like,
I know we're gonna go down, but I'm like, but you know what? It's constantly like that small fear of just like and when you go straight down, like your heart just goes, it disappears.
Yeah. For me, that's exactly how I was screaming. I was like,
I'm looking at her. I don't know what the last post.
Yes.
We were dying because this drop went from like here to like and we're like like we couldn't even breathe. So that whole ride we're just dying.
We really were, because I was crying of laughter.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't know whether to be fearful, whether to cry. I ate that shit, yo. I was so upset.
So you want to have tea here?
Right, we do actually have water.
No, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
I mean, it's a quick little stand up.
It's a quick. Drop the mic.
No.
We Gucci out here, okay?
Sorry.
We're good. I didn't think she was gonna get. I bounced back. I didn't think you were gonna get tea, but thank you so much.
Every single time I do that, it takes me back to the game. There was a game that you and I used to play, and I used to always be like, "This is a water," and you were like, "A what?" A what? A water. A what? This is a candle. This is a candle.
Just on some board shit.
You did that? That was your game?
That was the game. But we used to sit around the table with like whole family with, just eating, and then like, let's just, make it fun.
That's how it was created, that game?
No, I mean, I don't think it was my game. I think I learned it from someone else, but just to bring it up, it's just fun.
It reminds me of like us tapping on the tables in high school when we used to do like the cups.
Oh, yes.
That used to be cute.
That used to be fun too.
But, okay, so you never had so you didn't have stage fright. You used it to go for it. That's amazing. Not a lot of people had that. My stage fright was literally me running. And it still is. It still is to this day a little bit, because there's times when I started Reflections the first 3 months, I was like, I don't want to post it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Joe would always have to force me to post it. He's like, why not? It sounds fire. And I used to be like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he used to have to do it with me. Now I'm just like, all right, I can do this.
Of course. I mean, I'm glad you had someone there to just be like, hey, get it together and put it out there. Because, I'm like, you can't self-doubt yourself. And we actually always do. But, like,
yes, the more and more like you go and you make decisions actively, the easier it becomes.
Yes,
I've realized I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm getting
you have to start somewhere, and that's something like I had to get myself together with, because we're always like want the first thing to be perfect, and that's not going to happen. You literally have to start from ground zero and up, but we always want that gratification of now and not
so that
it,
involves practice and that time. So even when you even was learning all this, you never in your time of learning from whatever you learned in Arts Academy to Rosa to college, you never said, I know everything now, I have to stop.
No, you can't, because if you sit in here and be like, oh, I know everything, then there's no room to grow at all. I'm like, you can't. Some people have that mindset where they think they know everything, and I'm sure that you've met people in your walk of life, or you guys too, and it's kind of annoying to be like, yeah, I know everything, and those are the people that actually don't know everything. But besides that, that's another conversation
for another time.
Stop. But you have to keep on growing, because I'm always learning about something about my craft, or if it's not about my craft, it's somebody else's. Like, you learn from each other. We learn from each other all the time.
So this is the thing. So you learned and you increased through your creation process. So when did you start incorporating different dances and different techniques while learning and practicing and getting all the hang of this new thing?
Well, with the line that I'm in, like I said, my life is an audition. So you have to be like well-rounded and at least a little bit of everything, because I focus more on like contemporary, modern. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with So You Think You Can Dance. If people aren't in the arts, something you can go on YouTube or something, like things that I do. But you have to be just well-rounded in things. There's a lot of competition out there, but like you have to be in competition with yourself all the time. Like, you're your own competition. You got to focus on what you resonate with. So, but it's always good to just dabble in different things, because that's how you get to know your true artistry. You get what I'm saying? Like,
right. I mean, I growing up, I've seen him pretty much do everything. Like he was saying, some acting, some singing, and then some dance. But also him and I being in the same background and being brought up in church, I wanted to know, because I sensed the difference, but I wanted to know, do you sense the difference between dancing and singing and worshiping in a church versus you doing a performance that's same thing with the same craft?
Performance, you saying performance and then church? One
is, yes. So do you find there to be a difference when you dance in a church versus you dancing in a regular gig? Or it's the same?
No. It's different when it's for a higher power versus an audience. For an audience, you put on this costume or you do this and you play that part, and you entertain. You get what I'm saying? And for me, taking it back to church, it wasn't about entertainment anymore. It's for my higher power, just to praise that higher power. So in that, it's different. Yes, it's still dancing, or yes, it's still vocalizing, but like I said, if it was church, it was also, again, in my little bubble with my higher power. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can't, perform, what you perform, for entertainment and bring it into church. There's a difference. But to have reverence and have respect and everything else, so
there's that.
There's that difference, because a church, I come in to be fulfilled and just to hear a message or something, versus entertaining someone or a group of people.
See, for me, it's more of like, when I'm in the church, I put myself into a position where I'm no longer me, and I'm being used by whatever the muse, the Oz's, but to me is God. Okay. But no, that's beautiful.
Yes,
now, did you, in your singing journey, now that you're starting now in Cali, right? You're wanting to start Cali. That more often.
Yes.
So how's that going?
Well, it's going great on my part. It's just, the fact that I have to depend on other people in terms of to bring equipment and, you know, studio time and stuff like that, it hasn't happened yet. But until then, I'm still preparing myself vocally. I'm still getting things together and putting projects together so I can put them out on social media. But it's been great an experience just being in California. Just because it's, you know, it's been a place that it's unknown, because I lived in Patterson all my life, and to just up and leave to go to California was a different monster.
Was it?
Yes, it was. Yes,
let's talk about that transition too.
That transition was a big, tough one for me. Like, that was like, when I was dark, I was really in a dark place.
And it was in Cali that you were in that dark place?
Yeah. The transitioning here, I had, a long story short, let's make that one a long story short. I had a week to make a decision. Okay. I ended up losing my apartment, house, and my family turned their backs on me. And like I said, I had a week to make a decision, either be homeless in Jersey or be homeless in California. Well, it's warmer, so I was like, California it is. And I traveled with $75 in my pocket to go to nowhere, basically.
Oh, wow. You didn't tell me that when you...
I did
First
not.
of all, he did not say that to me. That
I didn't just because
he knew I was going to say something. I would have been like,
and that point in time, I was on that plane. I was just like, you know what? If you have to go at it alone, so be it. And regardless of what you're going through, you're just going to have to figure it out.
You know what's crazy? That just took me right back to your 8-year-old decision. But now as a grown adult.
Yes.
Wow.
Like,
I'm so happy for you. like that must have been so tough and so hard. Oh my God.
Just go nowhere. What are you going to do with $75? A donut and a coffee. And I mean, I started my journey out there.
How long did it take you to ground yourself and get yourself stable?
Honestly, my faith, yes. I grabbed onto that so hard. And I was fortunate to find a friend and friends out there that I wasn't even aware of at the time. So as I transitioned to that, and that alone wasn't even stable, because now I'm like in someone else's space where they don't know me and I don't know them. I was just referred by a friend, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you know, this is my situation. You know, I'm gonna have to house hop sometimes. I slept in the park, whatever the case. And yes, and I kept all that shut to myself because I did not want you and anybody else to, like, yes, worry, but at the same time, I was like, if I'm here right now, flat in my face, I have to turn myself around and look up, because that's the only way I can
make
go.
it out of this. Yeah.
Like, get out of this. I cannot wallow and feel sorry for myself. I cannot let depression come over and take over.
You're so strong for that, because I would have keeping that all to yourself. That must have been so.
And you know what? Like, I'm not dead. I'm stronger because of it. But little by little, I was like, you know what? I got a serving job here, or a busser, this, that, whatever helped me to just get myself together. And long story short, after my first 2 years were the hardest. Not even like physical things, but emotionally. But I got through it just reading books, the Bible, just keeping myself focused and busy so I don't deter from the actual goal. And the goal wasn't even first like, oh, let me go audition, let me go do these things. It was just get yourself together, you know. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was just like, get things in order. And first it's going to be your mental, because whatever you think that's going to happen, that's negative, it will happen.
Right.
So you just have to give yourself a good self-talk, watch the way you talk to yourself, and just keep moving forward. Whether or not I was crying, whether or not I was tearing, I was just like, you know what? Suck it up, move it on.
Yeah, but you're displaying perfect examples of self-awareness. Because you're being aware of the process or the pattern that you're doing. Because if you were not aware of yourself, then you would not catch them.
Yeah,
you would just sink into that dwelling, into that pain, add salt into that wound, because that's the way that you ate it.
Yeah.
It's an unhealthy place, but I'm glad that you didn't go
there. It is
there.
an unhealthy place, and I'm like, it's easy. Like, it's really easy to like feel sorry for yourself, and it's okay. Have that moment. Have everything to just kind of like, cry about it, let it out, but eventually you're gonna have to save yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Because no one's gonna save you
except Jesus.
Right, except him. But homegirl is gonna get tired, and homeboy too. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, he's still talking about the same topic. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I am. You know what's crazy? I'm infamous for that, so I can't even, because I tend to be emotionally invested into things only in the people that I care about, the people that I have put high expectations on. I'm like that. I can harbor. Ooh, I can harbor. But then there's times where I'd be like, I need to be self-aware. I need to let this go. I need to put this down. Yeah. But because I don't understand what's the whole point of harping on something. I really don't get it. It's something that feeds your negativity more than your positivity.
I know. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's mental. You have to literally put yourself in that position, because I'm like, you're just going to just sit there. And just sit there. I could have still been homeless. I could have been one of those people with the sign up. I could have been one of those people. It's hard to admit, to even think that I was considering taking food from the garbage, out there, and just maybe that bun wasn't touched. Let me just scrape the top. You get what I'm saying? And you just don't know where you're going to end up at. So I'm forever, ever grateful for the small things that I have in my life. Yes, I'm not where I want to be right now, but I will be. But gratitude is very important, at least for yourself, to know that you've made it with a bare minimum, and you can use that inspiration to like help somebody else, or keep yourself reminded of what was.
Yeah, actually, I mentioned that in one of my podcasts, and that's one thing that will provide you happiness and success, and that's practicing gratitude and being grateful on a daily basis. Always trying to look at the upside to things, because I don't have a car, but this girl over here is on a wheelchair and she can't even walk, and you walking over here, and you can take your right leg and your left leg and take you places. Yeah,
and those things we take for granted. Like, okay, I heard it before, but like, okay, you can get into a car accident and no longer be the same.
True.
So
what? You gonna be mad then?
You get what I'm saying? Sometimes people do need that awakening, and it does happen. But besides that, like, I'm so grateful. I have to be so grateful to come from making $25 stretch for food for 2 weeks. That alone in itself. I mean, I got tired of eating ramen, potatoes, arroz habichuela. You know what I'm saying? Again and again and again. But you know what? Thank God for 99-cent store.
You ain't lying.
Aim clutch. What is it? Dollar Tree? Thank you.
Yes. Oh my God, you're so right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a can of tuna that was $1.29. That was kind of like, ooh, that's the luxury brand. I gotta go to the 89-cent one. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so to sum up that journey in emotion words.
Wait, what?
In emotional words.
In emotional words.
Like, well, from that year, for those 2 years in Cali to like the light at the end of the tunnel, how was it?
Honestly, through that journey, I literally got to know a lot of my strength.
Okay.
You said words, right? I have to say words?
Yeah. Words, emotions that we're going through.
I was going through all emotions. Like,
yeah.
I could not sit here and be like, I was going through this, that, and the third. I was going through hate. I was going through
repression.
Yes, because you I don't know. I was blaming
because you repress your feelings, so internalizing.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
So that was the bad in the beginning stages of it, and then the light at the end of the tunnel. How do you feel now?
Once I started, I guess, earning money for myself now. and improving. I went from like a busser to a runner to a server. Little things like that seem to be like, oh yeah, whatever. But like when you're coming from like $75 in your pocket to nothing, like I started seeing that progress. I'm like, you know what? I've been out here and I'm still alive. I'm still, I have at least a roof over my head. I don't have my own room yet, but I'm still able to do great things. And I was really just having an open mind. I still kept with my faith, which
important.
really gave me that like anchor to just keep going. Music also was a big part of.
What songs would you listen to in those times?
Of course, Mariah Carey.
Of
Make
course.
it happen.
Okay.
So yeah, this Make It Happen. I think it was a live.
And then I know you had a
performance.
gospel in there.
Gospel. It was yeah. You know what? I was listening to a lot of Whitney, and then her gospel days though.
Yeah.
I love the Lord.
Yeah, she's in her prime. She was amazing.
It's just anything that was anything.
Both of them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know you love Mariah, but
Whitney. No, Whitney definitely. Come on. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Right.
But yeah, it's like anything that was church music or just gospel and just things that will
I don't know.
uplift
To
my
me,
spirits.
it's like there's the gospel musics that will take me, like Melodies from Heaven, Kirk Franklin. I was listening to that in the car. Things of that nature. And then there's this song in my grief that helped me get through it. And one of those, I have a couple. I have my worldly albums, and I got my church albums for my grief period. But yes, something about the name Jesus by Kirk Franklin.
Yes.
Let me tell you,
something.
you put that on something. It is the sweet. And even Shekinah Glory, Say Yes.
Oh, that one right there. Oh my God, that one immediately is just like tears. But it was just tears of just gratitude at the same time. It's just
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yes,
It's like
yes.
I don't know. To me, it's like I listened to that in the moment of my brokenness, and that gave it kind of like it was a permission that you can exert and allow everything out.
Yes.
Because I don't know, you and I are very independent, and we repress a lot. We have throughout our life. So I guess that moment right there in our faith was our moment, like that refreshing.
I know, but the first time I ever heard that song you're speaking to about was in college when I was in dance class, just at the bar, just stretching, and my dance teacher came in and played that song. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna play this song and just take it in. And it was that song.
Something about the name Jesus.
No. Glory. Say Yes.
Say Yes.
That one. And I'm over here stretching, crying in class, like, oh my God. But it was so healing.
Oh my God, that does sound like a very like.
Yes, and I was so surprised. I was just like, okay, teach.
Some things.
Some things. I was like, I fuck with you.
Yes. The first time I saw Say Yes was in a Baptist church, and it was pantomime. That's why I was like, I know you've done pantomimes.
Pantomime.
Yes, and for people who don't know what pantomimes are, they sometimes it's a worship in church, and they do a lot of hand gestures to display the emotion.
Paint their face.
Sometimes paint their faces. Sometimes
That's
don't.
too much for me.
Yes, it just looks too clownish. I don't know. We're not clowns.
We'll react like it.
Yeah. But no, like that song, man. I remember going down on my knee, and I just been like, yo, I can't do this. Yo, I don't know how to feel. I'm confused. It just made me confess. It made me like just be real with myself.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, for real. Amen to that.
But we all have those songs where you go back, but like for healing, and it's always a good thing to just center yourself.
Yeah, but then there's some songs that we go to feed our energy.
Yeah. It's very broad. It's
anger, sex,
exactly. Yes,
but whatever.
Music is very powerful, you guys. So it's depending on what you're listening to, it's just the mood. But a lot of it's healing, a lot of it's not.
You did mention that you read a couple books. Like, what book did you read that really helped you in those times? That you could remember.
I wish I can really remember the author, but there's a book. What do you say when you talk to yourself? That was the first book I read in its entirety. Me reading books, I was like, nah. I used to be that one, just like a book. Nah.
What is he used to go to Spark Notes?
Just cheating
Let's
in school.
just overview it, okay?
Just cheating. I purposely would be absent at the end of the school year just so I don't get that that summer reading. I just never read books. But besides that, no, seriously, like, why are you gonna make me work during the summertime?
So that was like something in your adulthood that you just kind of like, let me try it out.
Let me just try it out and read. And I started with just, not being a reader at all. To just 15 minutes a day, just because I wanted more, self-awareness and stuff like that. So, like I said, a good book was what you say to yourself. I screwed it up. What do you say to yourself when you're by yourself or something like that? But anyways,
Right.
That book taught me to really talk better about myself, really think about my thoughts, because they are life. There's power in the tongue. And it just put a lot of perspective. Right. I'm like, if you're already talking to yourself, oh, I'm so fat, or oh, this, that, and the third, you're eventually going to live that out. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to watch out what you say about yourself and your own personal growth, because you're your own worst enemy if you let yourself be. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So like, I use books just to get away, but at the same time, continue to progress on my thoughts, because we don't know everything. Like you said before, like, we just don't know everything. It's really good to just educate yourself, because education and applied knowledge is power. So.
Right. Yes. You're throwing straight gems. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't know.
He's like, I'm just expressing myself. But, I wanted to also ask before we, end the episode, because it's almost that time.
Oh, I was having so much fun.
I know, right?
Testing.
It's still on.
Still on.
I just wanted to know, like, is there something that you would advise someone out there that is battling depression or is battling anxiety, doesn't know what to do, has felt neglected, or is in a low spot right now, that is homeless out there and doesn't know what to do, wants to do something with their art, doesn't know, but...
Well, I came to realize is that, we do have choices, and whatever you're not doing to make progress for yourself, whether you are in deep depression, whether you are experiencing anxiety or just a roadblock, you have to just sit there and stop with the excuses. See whatever you can tackle first, whether it's big or small, but always start small.
You know what you should do? That's a good idea. Maybe as you're doing that, write the excuses, because sometimes we just say them out loud.
But like with the excuses, it's just like, you gotta realize, like, you just want attention, or you want somebody to feel bad for yourself, for you. But that's just not gonna go that long so far. I mean, you have to, like I said before, you have to pick yourself up. You have to find a way to make yourself stronger.
Yes, that's
you
so
got what
right.
I'm saying? I know we fall into like, well, I'm depressed, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna smoke weed, or whatever the case is. Those things, I'm gonna sex it away. But realize you can make those decisions, but those things are temporary. Those are not gonna last. You're gonna want more of it when it's actually deteriorating you from the inside, because you're not focused on the solution. You're just focused on the problem, and you're just piling up that issue. And I can say that because personally for me, things get really hard, and you just want to be like, no, just don't want to deal with it. And that's fine just for a little bit.
Right.
But if you don't attack it head on, it's still going to come back to you in different ways, some type of way.
It is.
And if you don't deal with it, then it's just going to come back until you learn your lesson. You're not going to move on forward. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get to that stepping stone until you figure it out, that particular lesson that you really have to learn. So like, do whatever you have to do to figure out, how can I get myself out of this little hole, instead of digging myself more and trying to find just
temporary fills.
Temporary anything. Don't have people. What am I trying to say?
Scapegoats. Don't just hit up people.
Don't make people feel guilty that they have to help you, because they don't. Not even your parents. After 18, they're done. Like, they don't have to take care of you anymore.
That's so true.
And we want that, but at the same time, overall, we have to grow up one way or another. Like, we have to grow up. Make that decision. I know it's hard, but like you have to just go, even if you're crying. You know what I'm saying? Wipe them up. Get strong. At least I tell myself when I'm not that courageous, I'm like, just have 20 seconds of courage. And for those 20 seconds, just live in those 20 seconds. Live in that moment. And if you can go 20 seconds with just that courage, you can definitely extend it to a minute, to a whole hour, and maybe a habit starts to,
form a positive one, not a negative one, not the one that you always go back to.
Exactly. Okay. And it's hard. We always go back and retract ourselves. But if you're knowledgeable about that, and you're aware that, okay, you know what, I'm slipping, we gotta do something different.
Yes. Dang.
Yeah, we gotta do something different. If not, you're gonna stay stuck on the same thing.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're so right. That straight
discipline. Discipline is what we all need. And just be real with yourself. Honestly, I don't want to be like talking about this too much, but like, look at yourself in the mirror by yourself, lock the door, make sure nobody's home, and literally be like, hey, you fucking up. But like, hey, whether it's on finances, whether it's in a relationship, like, take time for yourself. You need time for yourself. I take my Sundays or whatever days for myself. I'm in California by myself, no family, nothing. I have a couple friends and everything else, and extended family, which I'm grateful for out there. But like, I take myself out instead of just staying home watching whatever that does not edify, fill your spirit, right, or whatever the case is. I go and I walk, take a hike, watch the sunset go down, and have that one-on-one with the high, and just be present. You need to like detoxify yourself.
There's something about that too. Like, I remember I was listening to one of my favorite therapists, and she said that we need to be present. There's something about us current people, when we're present, we're forced to face the things that we don't want to see right now presently, so we find scapegoats by going to the past to fill that with an emotional whatever attachment, whatever it is,
alcohol, weed,
or it could be someone that you're stuck on, or whatever the case is. And we go back to the past and we go, oh, this is what it is, and this is what it is, and this is why I'm this way, and this is why I have no money, and this is why this is that.
And those are all the excuses.
Look at the present. What are you doing right now to fix your financials? What are you doing right now to fix that relationship? Is that person even here right now? And if he's not, then why is he still on your mind? Things of that nature. It's just like, or the future. If you focus on the present, they said, more on the present, you will now start looking towards your future, instead of you going to the past and trying to label things and identify them and say, oh, it's because, I suffer from, bipolar.
Oh my God. Yo, when somebody said, listen, when somebody says and you're just claiming that to yourself, right. Like I joke around and be like, when people are like, oh, mom, diabetes runs in my family or whatever. I'm like, no, that's because nobody runs in your family. You know what I'm saying? You're making a choice. You know what I'm saying? Obesity runs in my family. No, nobody's running in
That's
your family.
what I'm saying. Like that those excuses. Like, like those excuses, like my father abandoned me. Our parents have done that too, guys. Okay? Like,
and you can't count on somebody else to come into your life and them have to fill that void for you, because they're not. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be 100 with yourself before you interact with somebody, or whatever the case is, or even if you're in a relationship, like, 50-50, and you got to be set for yourself and know what you want, because when somebody come at you the wrong way, and whatever the case is, like, how to handle yourself. You've been one with yourself. You're not taking somebody else's garbage. And a lot of the times people fill that hole with garbage, and you're just accepting it because you don't know how to handle that.
Yes, it's garbage, or as we call it, aka a setback. Ooh. Okay. We just tend to fall for them setbacks. Okay,
now you strong. You're definitely stronger than what you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
You're definitely stronger. You have to go through this stuff in life.
That's so true.
To know what you're made out of, man. Like,
You're so right.
Yes.
Through the that's literally, diamonds have to get crushed in order for them to be made. Yes. They have to. Same thing with pearls. Pearls are in the dirtiest places in the sea.
Even a seed, it's under dirt. You're gonna have to go through all this bull. But if you let yourself bloom. Let yourself bloom.
I cannot. So before we go, do you have anything to announce that's coming up for our audience to know about? Like anything that you're looking forward to, stuff of that nature? Just watch your page.
Well, like I said before, my page is under construction and stuff like that. And then COVID, like,
I know COVID has been ruining everything for us, but not really.
Yes. So, content right now is just kind of been on a halt, or just people are just afraid to come out and stuff like that. So I'm working around all of this, So, that's all I can say. And definitely, content will be coming out soon, and especially hopefully us vocalizing together.
Yeah, we're gonna be vocalizing together, really soon. And you're just gonna see Elias surrounds a lot, and me and vice versa. I'm planning on going to Cali soon, so I'll definitely be out there. We're gonna have so much fun.
If you come, you guys are in for a treat. I'm telling you.
We're gonna document everything.
California's gonna be so much fun.
Jinx, I can't. This is why I love him.
Yeah.
But anyways, So where can they find you?
You can find me right now Instagram. Eli M27.
Eli M27. And you can follow me at Sophie_Val, as well as follow Reflections with Val on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, you name it. We're there. Let me stop.
Get the point.
Get the point or not. But yes, please follow, subscribe, review.
Yes.
It is not go unnoticed. And I thank every single supporter and listener that has been listening. It does not go unnoticed again. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.